is the real reason that candidates struggle to crack the judiciary exam in their first attempt? Do you need to be obsessed about making it through in the first attempt? Don't you have another chance? Why do you need to be obsessed, right? Also, if you're not successful in your first attempt, what do you need to do to crack the judiciary exam in your second or third attempt? How can you do it? Okay. Now look at this. Okay. What happened in the case of the person who just cracked the judiciary exam? Her batchmates, those of her batchmates who cracked it 7 years back, you know something, that there were promotions announced faster than the usual pace at which it takes. Usually, it takes about 15 years to become an ADJ in Rajasthan from a junior civil judge. Okay, from a now in this case there were some expedited promotions. Okay, and in 7 years, the people who cracked the exam 7 years back, they became ADJ. Now this person has just cracked it and she's now a junior civil judge. Now, how long, if 15 years is the actual time taken, okay, to become an ADJ, how long is it going to take her if it takes the normal amount of time? So her friends, her peers have become ADJ already in 7 years, but for her, if it takes the full course of time, this is going to take her 15 more years. So that's 15 plus 7, which is 22 years. So this person technically, if things technically is 22 years behind. Okay. Now we usually look at this that okay, I lose 1 year or 2 years and then I will make it in my next attempt. But sometimes the difference can be this, that whether you retire in the end as an ADJ or a high court judge will depend on this, that when you crack your exam. Okay, so there can be far reaching implications of when you crack it. I am not discouraging you from giving your exam a second, third, or a fourth attempt if you fail to crack it, but I'm just saying that if you're looking at it realistically, these are the far reaching consequences. Okay, so your goal one of your goals could be to crack it as early as possible in your first attempt, and the other thing to know about is are the what is your situation going to be. So if you fail to crack it in the first attempt, then what is going to be your advantage in your second attempt, and what are the additional challenges that you will need to deal with, right? That will be important to know. So let's see, what are the advantages for those. First, let's look at the advantages, then we will look at the disadvantages, because I don't want to go about just saying these are the negatives. I want you to also know what are the advantages. By chance, let's say you worked hard and you are not able to crack the exam, so what's going to be in your favor the second attempt? You would have had familiarity, okay, with the syllabus. You would have studied the syllabus earlier, you'd have walked the journey, although unsuccessfully, but you'd have walked the journey, so you would not feel that this is alien territory. You'd have also known the syllabi, you'd have been familiar with the exam pressure situation. That kind of familiarity will be there. Okay, then you would automatically after not having cracked the first time, you would have a far more seriousness, because you know how difficult the road is strict, tight. You know that there's not much of a window. You've just got one more year to give it everything and crack it. Okay, so you will automatically be more conscious, and maybe you'll be more serious, but the consciousness is going to be at a higher level. Okay, these are going to be some of your advantages: familiarity basically, and the consciousness, and then also knowing that a lot more is at stake now, because you will not have too many backup options after this, like too many more attempts to give, so you may need to pursue other careers or figure out something else if it fails now. So that way you will be more conscious. Now let's look at what are the costs, or what is the situation going to be for you. What are the negatives, what are the challenges that you will face when you're giving a second or a third attempt? One by one, let's go through those. One big issue is going to be lack of motivation and energy. Okay, whether you studied in the right direction or not, whether you even, but in the end, if you didn't crack the exam, any student, any candidate is going to face a sense of failure, because they would have definitely worked hard. Okay, if you worked hard but you didn't crack it, you will feel that there has been some kind of failure. There's going to be lack of motivation. The excitement that you have when you're deciding to crack an exam, because the syllabus is new, things are new, you're motivated, it's a fresh start, all of that will be difficult to find. In fact, you may feel demotivated, you may not feel energetic. Okay, And you will have this question ringing in your head again and again, that if I couldn't crack it in the first time, then what makes it different for me now? How am I going to be in a position to crack it now if I give 3 4 years or 2 years to study and couldn't crack it then? For some of you, it'll be like, I gave it 1 year to study, so I couldn't crack it. Let me give 1 more year. Okay, that also could be there. But what's going to be different in that year? That is something that you will need to plan. How will you ensure that the entire gap that was there in your first attempt, that's going to be identified and covered? So if you want, you will have to deal with that. Okay, there's going to be a feeling of boredom, because even if you crack the prelims, but say you couldn't crack the mains, it's not that you're going to reattempt the mains. You will have to attempt the prelims again. So the same competition comes back again the next year. Okay, so you will have to study all over again, and some parts may be repetitive while other parts may be new. Okay, so there is an experience of monotony over there, and also there can be repulsion that I don't want to keep doing this again and again. For those of you who start studying early, there's going to be much less time to prepare in comparison to, because after your first attempt, between your first and second attempt, there may be a gap of a year. Okay, if vacancies are released. If vacancies are not released, then you may look at another state also to give the exam. Now, that's going to give you 1 year's time to prepare in comparison to what you have if you start studying in your first, second, third year, or fourth year also, right? So now you're going to really deal with the question that now how can I prepare faster and more effectively despite having less time to prepare? Another issue that you will be dealing with is uh, you will frequently want to explore backups, because see that all these things add up. Okay, so there will be there will be lack of motivation, boredom, all of that will add up. You will want to do something on the side. The fear of what happens if I fail again will also be there. So what this adds up to is that you want to create some backups. Okay, let me do some part-time work. If it doesn't happen again, if I am not able to crack it in the second attempt, then I should at least have some backup. So let me start working with a senior. A lot of candidates do these things. Okay, now this is a big problem because you will lose focus completely, because you will not be able to fully focus on the exam, and your working with somebody else also will not be complete, because you will keep telling them that, okay, I need to prepare for the exam. Last 2 months before the exam, I'll take a break, or I'll go home early to prepare. Or some people will work also with a senior and also take some time off for attending a coaching, but you will not be able to fully prepare, because coaching is also for a limited number of hours and you can't completely rely on a coaching. You will in addition need to work as per the instructions of the coaching and work faster and more efficiently. So if you are trying to combine both, the challenge is going to be of losing focus for in both directions. Okay, so watch out for this. This is going to be the most challenging one. Anshika, if you are raising your hand, why don't you write your question on chat? Okay, we will look at it at the end. Then this is again a big demotivating factor. You may feel left out or alone, as some of your batchmates would move on to become judges. Some of them may pursue other career options. Someone will start working with a senior lawyer. Someone else may apply to a firm or start working in an LPO or work in a company, or at least start exploring those jobs. So you may feel that you do not have people to share the journey with, and that other people have moved on, whereas you're still stuck where you are in your career. So this can be a very challenging uh, this is another problem. Then what else will be that a lot of students face a sense of responsibility, but it kind of gets negative, because you're feeling like, I have studied for 5 years, the idea was to work and get a good job, and now despite having studied for 5 years, I've not cracked the exam, and now I'm a liability on my parents. That feeling also comes for a lot of people, and they fear the idea that why couldn't I kickstart my career now? Okay, now these don't act in your advantage. Okay, even if it doesn't matter whether these will actually hurt your preparation. So these costs you want to identify now. For those of you who are going to give your first attempt, remember that this is what is going to happen in your second or third attempt, so please focus most strongly on your first attempt. For those who are giving your second attempt, it will be helpful to relate with this feeling, identify if you can relate with these, and also remember that most of these are distractions. They are not constructive emotions. Okay, There you may experience a subconscious pressure, whether it is articulated or not, differs from scenario to scenario. Your parents may also be very supportive, but you may on your own feel that, you know, I must do something productive with my career, with my educational qualifications ASAP. I should not wait any further. This will keep going on, but you know, you can't give the judiciary exam in a month or two. You will have to again wait it out for the whole year, wait for the notifications, prepare, and then give the exam. Now, if somebody is looking at economics, then there will be some living costs that somebody else will have to bear for you. Somebody else may need to sponsor you, right? So now you may say that I will stay with my parents, so my food costs and living costs are going to be minimal. But the point is that think about the cost of really living your life. If you were to step out into a city where you work, then what would your living costs be? Okay, now that's the cost that you're escaping that by staying with your parents, but that is really what is the cost that you would need to incur, and you don't have the finances to live your life at the moment. Opportunity cost of doing something else. If in that 1 year you were doing either being a judge or doing a job or practicing, okay, that cost is there for that whole 1 year. Basically the cost of losing 1 year of your career, right? So now these are some of the costs these are measurable, quantifiable. Some are measurable in monetary terms, some are measurable in emotional terms, right? Like there would be feeling of liability, responsibility, guilt, feeling left out, feeling alone. All of that is going to come up. Okay, now let's look at a few ideas on how can you focus on getting it right in your second and third attempt. Is my volume audible? Is my volume high enough? You all can hear me, right? Let me just check if I can change the mic. Okay, sorry, there's a problem. I configured the wrong mic. Okay. So how do you get it right in your in your second or third attempt? For those of you, if you're facing the situation, this will be important. For those of you who are not facing the situation, you got to focus everything on getting your first attempt, on cracking it in your first attempt. But also know this part, you know, that if by chance it doesn't happen, this is what my situation is going to be, and this is what I will have to do. Okay, so you want to still prepare for that idea. You need to be familiar with the space you will experience. What's that space going to be? So if you don't make it, okay, the hardest part is going to be for you to identify what went wrong. What was the real gap? Now, given that the syllabus is vast and questions are selected based on Shakti, you write your question, okay, on chat. Given that the syllabus is vast, you may not have known answers to one or few subjects. Now, it will not be very easy for you because you've completed your preparation. You've got your blind spots now. You don't exactly know what may have gone wrong and where, okay? It's not that I didn't know the answer to this question. That's obviously clear to you that you didn't know answers to some questions of the question paper. But what went wrong in the preparation phase, and how can you fix that? Because in the next attempt, the same question will not be asked. Some other questions will be asked. So there would be something else which would have been the root cause. Maybe that you didn't prepare enough for specific subjects. Maybe that you did not practice essay writing for your mains. It could be, and there could be more variations. I'll come to those. But for most people, this is challenging. What do? They realize they didn't make it and they start studying with more hard work. And they say that, no, I'll work harder this time and it'll work. But that is not sufficient, because unless you're clear about what went wrong, you will not be able to improve. So don't just simply start studying in the same way, okay?